He was handsome. He was charming. He was studying to become a lawyer. He was also one of the most prolific serial killers in American history. What makes a monster? Not the ones in fairy tales with claws and fangs and things that go bump in the night. The most dangerous monsters look like your neighbor, your coworker, your friend. Ted Bundy looked like all three. Theodore Robert Cowell was born on November 24, 1946, at a home for unwed mothers in Burlington, Vermont. To protect the family's reputation, young Ted was raised believing his mother was his sister and his grandparents were his parents. He was quiet, shy, socially awkward in ways that made childhood lonely. But underneath that quiet exterior, something was forming. Something dark. By his 20s, Bundy had transformed. He was handsome, articulate. He enrolled in law school. He volunteered at a suicide crisis hotline. Crime reporter Ann Rule actually worked alongside him. She described him as kind, dedicated, and impossible to suspect. That was precisely the point. On January 4, 1974, Ted Bundy entered the Seattle apartment of 18-year-old Karen Sparks. She survived with permanent brain damage. She is one of the very few. The following month, 21-year-old Linda Ann Healy disappeared from her off-campus home. Her bed was carefully remade. The only sign, a blood-stained pillowcase. On July 14, 1974, at Lake Sammamish State Park, 2 women disappeared. Witnesses described a young, attractive man with his arm in a sling. His car, a tan Volkswagen Beetle. The mask was working perfectly. In the fall of 1974, Bundy relocated to Salt Lake City, Utah to attend law school. The murders followed him. On November 8, 1974, Bundy approached 18-year-old Carol Darrench at a shopping mall, presenting himself as a police officer. Darrench fought back with everything she had. She escaped. She lived, and she remembered his face. In August 1975, a patrol officer pulled Bundy over. Inside, a ski mask, handcuffs, rope, and a crowbar. Convicted of kidnapping, Bundy was transferred to Aspen, Colorado in 1977. On June 7th, he pushed open a second-floor window and jumped. On New Year's Eve, he climbed through a hole he had secretly carved in the ceiling of his cell and walked out the front door. Tallahassee, Florida. January 15, 1978. Bundy entered the Chi Omega sorority house through a back door with a faulty lock. Less than a month later, Bundy abducted 12-year-old Kimberly Leach from her junior high school. She was the youngest of his confirmed victims. On February 15th, a Pensacola police officer pulled over a stolen Volkswagen. After a struggle, the man said, "I'm Ted Bundy." Bundy's 1979 trial was the first televised nationally. He represented himself, charming the courtroom, chatting with the judge. But the evidence was overwhelming. Forensic odontologist Dr. Richard Suverin matched Bundy's teeth to bite marks left on a victim. On July 24, 1979, Ted Bundy was found guilty. On death row, he finally began to talk, confessing to 30 murders across 7 states. At 7:06 a.m. on January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed. Outside, crowds had gathered, some cheering, some weeping for the victims. The most dangerous lie he ever told was that he was normal. Evil doesn't always come with a warning. Sometimes it smiles.